Hello everyone, my name is Michelle Muñoz. I'm one of the chefs and co-owners at Moose Craft Barbecue in Lincoln Heights, California.
And I'm Andrew Muñoz, co-owner of Moose Craft Barbecue. Our restaurant is a Texas-style barbecue restaurant in Los Angeles, which is pretty crazy considering what it takes to do Texas-style barbecue in LA with the smokers that we have and everything that we had to go through to do it.
We also incorporate a lot of our Angelino culture. Andrew and I are both born and raised here in Los Angeles, and we fell in love with this style of barbecue because growing up we couldn't find it in LA. So today we're gonna make a beef rib. We prepare these at the restaurant as a special on Saturdays.
Yeah, it's our Saturday special. We can't make enough of them. We're gonna put our spin on it because a beef rib is just a beef rib, but we're gonna make tacos out of it at the end.
Yeah, we realize not everybody has a smoker. It's not as accessible to everybody, and it's very labor intensive. But what we do know is that at home everybody has an oven, and you can still make an incredible beef rib at home in your oven, and we want to show you today how to do that.
Very, very traditional, basic Texas-style barbecue rub is salt and pepper. For home, not in a smoker, in an oven, we're gonna put things like smoked paprika, guajillos, some cumin, some oregano, just to kind of give you those earthy, smoky notes that you would get from a smoker. So we're gonna recreate that, and yes, you can get a bark doing a beef rib in the oven. I'll show you.
Can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
In the oven, it's a little bit different, so you kind of want to clean it a little bit this way. It renders down also so that you can get the rub kind of penetrating into the meat. We'll set this aside, let it come up to kind of a nice room temperature. We'll work on a spice rub, and then we'll put it on there and pop it in the oven. We're gonna start with our anchovies and our guajillos, and we've already preheated this, so you wanna get it warm but not ripping hot. You just kinda wanna be able to throw your chilies on there. But before we're gonna do that, we're just gonna take the stems off and take some of these seeds out. You don't really need them.
We just want to toast them, start already smelling those chilies, that smoke coming through. Do you want to be really careful not to do them on very, very high heat because, chilies are delicate and you don't want to burn them.
They also blend up a little bit better. They're already dehydrated, but toasting them dries them out just a little bit more, so when you pop them in a blender, you'll get a nicer seasoning with it. So we're going to use this little spice blender. And first we'll start with our, we'll rip them up so that they fit in here. But you see, they dried out a little bit, so they're a little bit more crunchy. All right, perfect. So now let's do the other chili.
Guajillos.
The guajillos.
These were the anchos. Now we're doing the guajillo.
The way we want to approach it though is always start from the bottom because it's not your presentation side. So you'll get your shaker and then start high. So the higher you start, the more even your rub goes. If you start down here, it's going to be splotchy and uneven. And you don't really need too much on there. This is going to render down. You're not going to eat it, but it's just nice to season all sides. And we'll start with your sides next. Just kind of get a nice little even rub on there. You do all your sides and then you'll finish with the top. And then you don't want to rub the dry rub in, you just kind of want to pat it just to make sure it sticks. So now that this is seasoned, dry rubbed, you'll want to pop this in your fridge for 4 hours, kind of let your dry rub penetrate into the meat, give it a little bit more flavor. And in an ideal setting, 24 hours. You have 24 hours in the space to put this in your refrigerator. But if you didn't prep or plan it out with enough time, you can easily just put it pop it in the oven after a couple of hours. Just kind of let it set a little bit.
So we are going to make a fire roasted salsa to go with the beef rib. To go with the beef rib, I like to use something that is a salsa that's a little bit more tangy and acidic because the beef rib is so rich and fatty. So for that, we're gonna use some tomatillos and we are going to roast them. We're just gonna place them in here. We're gonna try to maybe fill up this pan, because you know what, it's a lot of beef rib. And what I'm looking for here is just to get them a nice char all around the edges, but you want to be careful with them. I don't want them to burst. This is about what we're looking for. It went from that bright green to now it's charred all the way around. Let's add on some serrano. Everybody likes spicy, right? Everybody like a little bit of heat. That's pretty good. Consistency that we want. Just give it a few pulses.
Even in an oven, you get that nice, like, barky finish that you would get in a smoker. The only thing you might be missing is like that smoke ring, that red kind of ring that runs on the inside that adds zero flavor. Is just it's a chemical reaction that happens at a certain temperature. So what you're looking for, if you have a probe, you're kind of just probing through it to check for doneness. If you kind of can go through without a lot of resistance, if you're not getting a lot of pushback, then you know it's done. Also, if you don't have a thermopin or a probe thermometer handy, you can just press it and you can kind of push into it and you'll notice it doesn't bounce back so quickly. So that's a good way to feel that it's done, and then it's also very pliable. I think that's pretty good. And we'll kind of just cut right into this. That's pretty much it. And then you'll take it apart and you'll get like a nice little short rib right there.
Just to wake it up a little bit more, I like to go with just a little drizzle of either some lime or some lemon